Okay. Inverted Matter is a Italian, let's say, death metal band, progressive, technical, somewhere in there, death metal band, who it seems like the one guy had a couple of false starts, eventually found people that he could work with, and sort of finally landed upon this. And it took a while, but basically, Inverted Matter has been the thing they want it to be since the previous album back in 2017. Most people hadn't heard of it until 2019 when it was reissued, and they sort of picked up the thread there. And like, what would you consider this type of music? Definitely a modern shade of somewhat progressive death metal, which is uh, still keen to the old school side of things, but has some maybe some early 2000s sort of additions to that idea. I'll you know I'll execration, a little bit of Mithras, and whatever else I'd included in here. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that this album uh, completely modernizes their sound, but it does touch upon some ideas you'll find in similar, like Cosmic Putrefaction releases or Ulcerate, and that's just different guitar techniques as they worked into their sound, and it's really helped to create what I would consider a little bit of tracers, what I just interest that floats around in the corners of the experience that flesh it out and make it more interesting as they go off on various tangents. And a great example of that would be like a something post Morbus Chron, like that the last Cadaveric Fumes record, where they're taking it somewhere that feels like a tangent on purpose. It distracts and then it pulls back into the action, and it's a good alternative to just sort of the brutal, quiet, brutal sort of way that a lot of groups do progressive death metal. They do have a brutal side. I think the drumming is pretty active and in there. They have kind of a thrashing side that comes up in a few of these songs that really adds some energy back into the sort of heady, progressive side of the band. And it all adds up to a, I don't know. I don't know if this is a record that is going to blow people away at face value. But if you're prone to sit with a record, let it stew for a while, let it pick up its own pace, uh, there's a lot of cool things happening in here. It's got an interesting theme uh, about trilobites, and if you're interested in ancient Earth and that kind of thing, there's some. It's sort of like they're mixing what I picked up as sort of their own fantasy lore uh, that sort of depicts different evolutions of the species, and it's pretty interesting to me. But whatever, if you're not into that kind of thing, it's a good death metal record, and one that I think fans of, like I said, Execration and Cosmic Putrefaction will enjoy for something that's different, but feels similarly rooted in uh, both understanding old school ideas, but translating them into at least a generation or two up in terms of meeting a standard of just more brutal interest, a little bit of blackened death metal ideas, and a little more freedom of movement, which just makes for a better listen. So it's not too demanding of a record for my taste, but if you don't listen to a lot of this type of stuff, maybe it'll be a little bit of a revelation in there for you. Um, I really like the painting on the cover of this, but I didn't understand why they used just a basic font for the band name and all that. So it's kind of it puts a bland note on what's otherwise a pretty unique album. I'm not some professional graphic designer, obviously, but I would have liked their logo's pretty cool. It would have been cool on the cover. So yeah, check it out, see what you think yourself, and yeah, go with it.